I just love soaking in this intro. This has to be one of the greatest openings to any video game. If you own a Super Nintendo and you don't own this game, I feel sorry for you. Like, this is a must-own Super Nintendo game. There's absolutely no question. It has been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula with only his whip and courage. He sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. So good. So very good. This is an amazing intro. I mean, how could you say anything bad about that? Oh, so good. Alright. I know this is, like, not necessary, but... oh well. Kink E. The great thing about this game is its control. It's so fluid. Like, you can control where you land. You can throw your whip in any direction you want. It's just fun. For once, it's not cheat deaths and design flaws. It's actual fair challenge. I mean, I've said it before. I agree with 100% of what Angry Video Game Nerd said about this game. And now one of the most iconic video game themes of all time. Definitely the most iconic theme in this franchise. The theme of Simon fucking Belmont. This game gave me nightmares as kids. I don't know about y'all, but I remember waking up quite a bit to this game from having bad dreams. That intro is scary as fuck. If that didn't scare you as a kid, I don't know what's gonna. One of the all-time great intros to any game. Great music, great atmosphere, great graphics, great gameplay, ease of gameplay. It just works. It all works. And that's something that most Castlevania games can't say. You know? Most of the time, you're a slave to one direction, just like that. Not the band, but you can only slash that way. That's not really that fair, is it? In this game, you can slash wherever you want. Look at that. It has no purpose, but it's pretty cool. I don't need the water right there. The boomerang has got to be the best weapon in this game. Specifically for this game. Now, you could argue in Castlevania 1 that the holy water is the best because of how well it works against Dracula. But, for this game, you gotta have the boomerang. Headless horses. I should be able to beat this in one sitting. I don't imagine why I wouldn't. It's literally only if I get tired I'll quit. But right now I feel okay. I had an icy. And it's useful for stuff like that. See, that never made any sense to me. If you fall off of the ledge right there and don't get on the steps, it kills you instead of dropping you down to this next area. That doesn't make any sense. Come here, Rodan. Oh, I gotta use that. This is like a warm-up boss. This is easily the easiest boss in Castlevania history. It's pathetic. If that's supposed to be Dracula's bodyguard, that's one pathetic bodyguard. No, later on you meet the real bodyguards. That comes in like a 3-parter. This is the stage right before the longest stage of the game. See, why does every Castlevania game have to be in the castle now? Why isn't there any of this? Like, just going for walks out in nature. This is, to me, you're losing a huge element of what made Castlevania great. You know, it's like literally Symphony of the Night was so successful and so critically acclaimed that Konami basically said, fuck it, this is our formula. We are no longer this kind of game. This is the formula going forward. And they stuck to it. I'm surprised they have. They have not re-released anything from this era. In terms of games that have never been re-released. Like Bloodlines. They've re-released this, of course, on, you know, Virtual Console and everything, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, they have never repackaged any of these games. Or re-released the games like Bloodlines that really deserve a remake or a re-release or something like that. I don't think there's any remaking this game, but just because of how good it is, but it would be interesting to see if they ever remade Castlevanias 1 through 3 with like all the design flaws fixed.
I always thought his jump was kind of odd. Like, he kicks his left leg way out in front. It's like literally he's jumping for dear life every time. It's cracking me up. Yeah, Konami really needs to re-release Bloodlines. And I would love to see a remake of the first 3. There's never been like an official repackaging other than what's on the Virtual Console. I would love to see a repackaging. I would love to see like a Legacy Collection for all the original games. For the games that are of this style, not of Symphony of the Night. Do like a part 1 and a part 2 even. Like do, you know, do games like this. And then for the second part, do the games like Symphony of the Night. And that's why you have the Boomerang, because Medusa is a bitch. She is a punk. Mega Man has its own Legacy Collection, and they basically, that's why I reference it, because Mega Man's done pretty much the exact same thing that I just referenced. They released 1 through 6, which were all on the NES, and now they're releasing a part 2, which is all the games otherwise in the Mega Man franchise. I do have them. I do have the first part. I will have the second. As a big Mega Man fan, I will have every Mega Man release, damn it. I like to see him in HD. I think that this deserves a re-release or repackaging of some sort. I don't know how you do it. I mean, Virtual Console's one thing, but God, I would love to see a game like this remastered or repackaged or thrown in a Legacy Collection. Just have like the first 5 Castlevania games all in one. The 2 on the Super Nintendo and the 3 on the NES. All in one disc. It'd be perfect. Or you could have it on the go. You could put it on the 3DS. There you go. Kind of like the Mega Man collection. See, I'm writing checks for Konami all the time. This is one of the longest levels in video game history. See, those stone men always made me want to have crackers growing up. Like, they just broke away like saltine crackers. It always cracked me up. Anytime I was a kid and I'd start breaking them apart, I'd want to have crackers. I don't need anything from that hidden room right now. See, just like that, it looks like crackers breaking apart. Like you're munching on some crackers in your mouth. Now, I do want to know, in terms of video game physics, how are spikes deadly? Like, what if you fall into the crease between spikes? Do you die? I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know who came up with spikes as, like, the defining feature of death in any video game. Or the classic bottomless pit. Just like now. Now I'm in an area where I can't fall. I love the red sky. I guess that means it's sunset. No, it already was sunset, so it was already dark when he crossed the gate. I love that red sky. It's like blood red. Or soup, tomato soup red, anyway. There's lots of great scenery in this game. The merman and the classic can't swim water physics. See, that never made any sense to me. Why, like, it falls in the exact same place. It doesn't try to come after you in terms of the falling blocks. They just sort of fall. It does nothing. I don't know anybody that's ever fallen for that. It's got to be one of the worst, weakest, lamest enemy attacks ever. Whatever set up that, I'm not sure. Now I'm at like 97 hearts. Ha, you missed. Yeah, this is one of the first 5 or 6 games that I ever owned. Right here. Bingo! What's up, Django? Quit licking my toe! What the fuck, these goddamn Raven bullshit. Quote the Raven. Yeah, I'm gonna need a pork chop. I think there's one over there. Yep. Thank God. Here come the Orphic Vipers. Throw those boomerangs! Ah, so satisfying. Oh shit. Oh, come on! Don't be a man! Got him! Got him! What if I died right there? Yeah, this is the same game. The one that she really likes is Castlevania 3. This is Castlevania 4. What I said was the best in this entire franchise, and she actually didn't like, which I thought was kind of odd. This game is a classic, and I can't believe she said it sucked. Like, I know everybody's entitled to their opinion, but my God. It's like saying Lord of the Rings Return of the King sucks or Star Wars sucks. You know? It's like one of those things. You can't, like, it's hard to refute how good a game is when everybody says it's good. This part's kind of tricky. Oh, you son of a bitch! Assholes. I finally died. That's the first time I've died. You gotta be real careful here. There. Yeah, she was really old school. She preferred the more challenging games. Like, there's no doubt that she's old school. It just makes too much sense because she's all for poor graphic and game design, you know, design flaws and, you know, being hit and recoil and falling down a pit through no fault of your own other than being hit. Like, that's the part I never ever liked about the first Castlevania or the third. I think, didn't we try to beat that once? Or no, that was Last Crusade. I think I'm gonna die here. Yep, I'm gonna die. Because this fucker ain't getting up. There. Now I can just... Damn it! Here we go again. Yeah, Last Crusade's a tough game too. I think you gotta do it in a specific order. Yeah, I didn't play, I haven't played the Super Nintendo game. I'm trying to think, what would I consider to be the hardest game that I've ever beaten? I played some doozies, let me tell you. I have played some freaking doozies and beaten them at one point or another. It's not easy. Mega Man X7's probably up there. That game is an abomination anyway. I talked about that last night, but my god, is that game difficult. It's not so much that it's like bad. What really kills it to me is the difficulty. It's like I told her last night, I only played that one time. I played that game through one time and I dread playing it again. But I know I'm going to at some point. I have to. I'm like contractually obligated to play it. Because I own almost every Mega Man game known to man, I gotta play it. You know, kind of sucks, but c'est la vie. Yeah, the end of Zelda 2 pretty hard too. I never could beat Thunderbird. That's what always held me up. Like, I could never beat Thunderbird. But I think if I gave Zelda 2 another chance, I could probably beat it. What I want to play is Zelda 1. I think it's been 15 years probably since I tried to beat that. Yeah, I did too. I think I might have beaten Zelda 2 once by cheating, but yeah, you have to cheat. Unless you just want to spend time farming for experience. And nobody wants to do that. I mean, just like this stage right here that I just went through, that part of the stage right there is awesome. I mean, that's like disorienting. It's so good. AVGN's review of this game is like spot on. Like, it's exactly how I feel. And I mentioned that last night. Like, I just love, I mean, everything he said was true. Let's see, I think I just go straight ahead here. Drop down and I'll be right near... what's his name? Fuck! Yeah, I'm gonna use a map for games like that. I know eventually I'll play Metroid 1, but trying to beat Metroid 1 cold is pretty challenging, because it literally gives you no help. Like, there is no help in that game. You're just walking around and exploring until you finally figure out where you gotta go. It's not a long game if you know where you're going, but in general, Metroid 1's, I wouldn't say it's entirely difficult, but it's not an easy game to beat, especially if you're not using anything to guide you. Alright, here comes Coronat. Ton of rock. This has got to be one of the most interesting bosses. It looks like you're just whipping a screen, like a background almost. Like, it's so weird. Like, his design is so interesting. Damn. Got him! That's so cool. I might own that game? Question mark? I don't know. Because not too long ago, I bought quite a few games, and I bought them based on, like, recommendations and, like, top games list. And, I might have bought that game. I'm not sure. Sounds familiar. I might have. I know I did buy Ninja Gaiden. That's a game I ought to stream. I'd never beat it. Never. Yeah, this level is just bizarre. Like, it's a very short level. It doesn't have a boss. It's just like you're walking towards the entrance of the actual castle. It's definitely the weirdest stage in this game. Not so much that it's short, not so much that it's no boss. It's just look at all the enemies I'm fighting. Like, they're all weird. And the scenery is just so bizarre. I'll have to look and get back to you on Chrysalis. I'm fairly certain that I have it. I'm almost positive I own it. And now, the castle. It's a short game. It's not going to take me much longer to beat. Like, I'm already, like, I guess you could say halfway through it. And I only died a few times, but only because there's, like, pits and stuff. Like, I haven't died through any fault of my own, I guess. This is an interesting stage, too. Like, I love the Victorian, or I wouldn't call it Victorian per se, but it's like very old-timey. Like, it reminds me of a Victorian, like, ballroom. I should play Bloodlines next. Castlevania Bloodlines is another good game. It's good. It has its merits. Oh, what the fuck? I forgot all about that. Damn it. Exactly. I love AVGN's Castlevania series. I think I've watched that like 20 times all the way through. Because everything he says is exactly how I feel about the entire series. Like, I could care less about playing the first three. This game, Bloodlines, and Symphony of the Night are the three best in the series to me. Castlevania 1's a close third, or close fourth after that, probably. And then probably number 3 and then number 2. In terms of the games that were, shit. I'm taking way too much damage. I'm just waxing Messianic taking damage right now. Come on. So let me repeat my list, because I might have like gotten off track and may not have been completely accurate with my list. So, Symphony of the Night was the first game of what we would call Metroidvania. So it basically has a big map system like most Metroid games do. That was the first game that introduced that style of gameplay. And it was so successful that Konami was like, hey, we should do this for every Castlevania game. Since Symphony of the Night was such a great game. And, well, it kind of killed... I mean, once you do that a certain amount of times... Hey, Allison, what's up? Hey, I mean, you did talk to me about it, and it kind of got my interest going, and once I was done with Super Metroid, I was like, hey, let's do Castlevania. But what I was just saying was, yeah, once they started doing Symphony of the Night's format... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Castlevania 2 is shite in terms of, like, clues, in terms of gameplay. It's too cryptic. Like, it's literally Metroid, but for Castlevania. I get what you're saying, for sure. But Metroidvania was, I guess you could say, popularized with Symphony of the Night. That was destined to happen, that's alright. I got a stopping point now. And the weird thing about this franchise is it was like this up until Symphony of the Night. Then when Symphony of the Night came out, that's when they changed it up. That's when the entire franchise diverted away from this. It's kind of sad, because what a high note to leave on, you know? They left all those great games basically to history. Like, there's never been like a game quite like this since. Dracula X is a very difficult game. It's decent, but I don't find myself playing it. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that it's a different franchise, to be honest. Like, I just... I have mixed emotions about it. I can understand why Konami would want to do it. Hey, there's a pork chop in the fucking wall! I could understand why Konami would want to do it, but... I mean, come on. Like, Castlevania 1 is a great game, just very difficult. Castlevania 3 is a very difficult game, but also good on its own merits. This game is an all-time classic. Symphony of the Night is an all-time classic. Dracula X was a decent game. feel like if they tried to release a game like this today, like if this was still the formula, that the franchise probably would have died by now. I guess they evolved with the times with this series, but man, I really miss games like this. It's like I said earlier, I really wish they would repackage these games, and not just on Virtual Console, but release them and so we can play them. Bloodlines needs to be re-released. I think it would be great as part of a Legacy collection. You include the first 3 NES games, you include the 2 NES or Super Nintendo games, and you include Bloodlines. Put all the 8 and 16-bit games together. You put 6 games on a disc, I'll buy it. Yeah, Symphony of the Night was the last hurrah of Castlevania for sure. I hate that they just were like, fuck it, we're just gonna bury these games in favor of a game like Symphony of the Night. Because I remember playing Circle the Moon, and I absolutely hated it. It just isn't the same Castlevania to me. It's just not what I expect from Castlevania. Symphony of the Night is a great game. I love it. But am I going to say that this is worse? No. This is probably the best Castlevania game. At least in my opinion, it's the best. But people have their opinions about Symphony of the Night. It's an amazing game. But I just enjoy the fact that there's so much scenery. The graphics are great. You're in full control of what you're doing. Instead of the game always being in the castle. It literally is like rinse and repeat with Castlevania nowadays. It's the exact same games over and over and over. There's nothing innovative to any Castlevania game anymore. Nothing. Like, this game was innovative for having this kind of whip system. Look at this. Like, you can't do that in any other Castlevania game before this. Like, look at all the scenery. Look at how good it looks. I mean, just everything. It's such... The attention to detail in this game is phenomenal. Fuck these dancers. I love Symphony of the Night, and I'll play it pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it was the death of the series. It's literally been the formula, the MO ever since. There is no end in sight. Like, literally no end in sight. It will just keep going. They will keep pumping out Metroidvania games till the end of time. Yep, I'm gonna lose here, but the Dancing Specters. Oh, shit. Oh, I remember how to beat these guys. These guys go in a figure 8. Yeah, I got it. Fuck! I just wish they would re-release Bloodlines, man. That's why I begged for a Legacy collections, because of Bloodlines. I have Bloodlines. I'll probably play it soon because I'm playing this. But, unless you have a Genesis and unless you own Bloodlines, you are not playing Bloodlines. Ass! Okay, I'm at full health. I think I can take these guys. Oh gosh. Yeah. I have... My Bloodlines cartridge, I think, is in pretty good shape. It's not like mint, but it's still in pretty good shape. My Castlevania cartridge has always been in good shape. I'm trying to think like which games I would consider to be like in the most poor shape. I really don't own hardly any games that are like of poor quality label-wise or cartridge-wise. And there they go. Yep, you just gotta have a full head of health to beat these guys. Yes, I did play N64 Castlevania, and once again, I share the exact same opinion. That was the last Castlevania game that I ever owned when it was new, just like AVGN. My personal recollection of Castlevania games stops with the N64 game. That game is shit. I mean, skeletons on motorcycles? What were they thinking? Like, seriously? The game was set in 1852! And they had motorcycles! It's such a bad game! Like, why? There are so many things to hate about the N64 Castlevania game, and I don't even know where to begin. But AVGN covered it pretty well. I mean, that's... Again, Castlevania's... His series on Castlevania is perfect. I didn't talk to you, Siri. I never owned a Genesis growing up. I literally, like, 2 years ago, started owning a Genesis, and I own, like, the core titles for it. I do not own hardly anything from Genesis. Like, I don't really have I like to have, like, probably a dozen games for it, if that. And only, like, the games that are must-own. I was always a Super Nintendo guy. Oh, shit. Whoa! All right. The SNES is... I mean... I'm trying to sit here and debate whether or not the NES or the Super Nintendo is the more impactful gaming console or the better gaming console. In terms of graphics, sure. But Nintendo, the NES, ugh. Okay, hang on. My throat's a little verklempt right now. The NES, of course, had the most impact. I don't think anybody would argue that. But my God, did the Super Nintendo have some great games. And I knew that was coming. The NES had some great games, don't get me wrong, but I just think they really perfected it on the Super Nintendo. They started getting it right around this time. Like, they didn't have all the crazy design flaws. There were some great games on the NES, but again, a lot of them had poor design. Yeah, the NES definitely has more of a historical impact, but I've always found myself playing the Super Nintendo first. I mean, I grew up on it, so that I didn't grow up on the NES. I didn't own an NES until I was like 13, and I got it off eBay. But I just think they really started to get it right with this console. They were great games on the NES, but not to this quality and not to this degree. Yeah, Nintendo was on fire until they fucked over Sony. When they fucked over Sony, that changed the gaming world forever. If that had never happened, it's very likely that Nintendo would probably have a monopoly right now in the gaming industry. Maybe it was just karma. Maybe it was karma because they owned the landscape for so long that it was time for them to give it back a little bit, you know, have competition for once. And they're still good shape. Like, even though they may lose money from time to time, but I read they had such a huge cash hoard that I think they could lose like $250 million a year for the next 30 or 35 years and not go broke. Like, it is such an impressive feat that they have that much money. Just to be able to say that I can lose $250 million, basically fuck around for 30 years and be okay, is unreal. What you doing? Genesis does what Nintendo don't. What a great marketing ploy. Genesis's genocide. Their marketing department was spot on. Alright, here is the hardest level in the game. The Frankenstein level. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. Phew! Damn it! Oh, Tyler, all those subscribers that I gained from playing Pokemon Blue, yeah, they're all gone. I hate this so much. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, this level is a death trap. Like, look at that. I think the people that I lost are mad because I'm not playing Pokemon all the time. That just shows you how popular the series is. I dare say it's more I would say it's probably more popular right now than Mario. And that's a lot. That's saying something. When you're more popular than that character, hats off to the guy who created it. You created a brand that you cannot break. This part always cracks me up. How are you in the ceiling right there? It's just like one death trap after another. Like, this whole level is an exercise in futility. And this is like the misfit of the entire game in terms of levels. This game, like, this is the one level where you might just stop playing if you're a casual gamer, because it's pretty difficult. This has got to be the hardest part of the game. It was a fad back in our time, but it really has a big resurgence now because of Pokemon Go. And I'm guilty of playing Pokemon Go as well, and I'm dead. I hate those fucking bats. And I was right near a checkpoint. Fuck! I give. I'm just resetting my lives count. Forget this. I was so close to a checkpoint. I think I could have gotten through this level had I not died right there at the end. Pokemon was a fad, and now it's got a big comeback behind it. I mean, I literally know people that do nothing but play Pokemon Go for a living. There's a guy that he posts all the time on the Nashville Pokemon group, and that's pretty much his job. He has like sponsors and shit. He's got money now, but just for playing the fucking game. Like, that's insane. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I know other people on YouTube do that, but just for playing Pokemon Go and being an avid Pokemon Go player, he's getting money to go around and play the game and test shit. It's unreal. You can literally, like, well, let's say you're the best at butt wiping. Like, you could probably become a really successful butt wiper. There's money to be made everywhere. Hey, Chally. Oh, shit. Cat distracted me. What's up, baby? It's a good boy. Okay. For fuck's sake! Apparently, speaking of that, apparently Pokemon Gold and Silver, which was the Gen 2 Pokemon, that was intended to be the final game. And then because of how successful it was, it kept going. It makes so much sense because the ending of that game, you face Red, which is you from the first game, from Gen 1, with ultra powerful Pokemon at this point. He's like the champion. And you're basically trying to unseat him. Oh, fucking A! Yeah, I have all 6 games from Gen 1 and 2. Blue, red, yellow, gold, silver, crystal. Okay. Fuck that. I'm just gonna avoid it. Bear it, tear it. Damn it! There's just multiple distractions at this particular point in the game. Like, it's... Oh, for fuck's sake, man! Unbelievable. Right? Oh, thank heaven! I had no idea that was there. I just did it on a whim. Oh, that's gonna save my ass in a minute, because I know I'm getting hit. Yes! I timed that perfectly! Thank God! Now I'm at the checkpoint. Now I can relax a little bit. I hate this level. I don't understand it. It just went from being like an easy game to being incredibly hard. See, like this. Look at this right here. How the fuck are you supposed to get around that? Like, you can't fall down. Can you? I gotta try. Like, let's say you actually attempted to get around that and do it legit. I'm almost positive no one can do it. Like, that part right there epitomizes this level. Hey, child kids. Hang on. I honestly don't know that many avid female gamers. It's kind of disappointing. I really am honestly under the delusion that they don't exist in the South. I really don't think they do. Like, I know there are gamer girls out there, but like none that like avidly play. Alright, this part always gets me too. Oh my. Ah, shit. I gotta take a breath. Are you kidding me? I didn't know they could do that. That's literally the last part. That's literally the last part right before the fucking Frankenstein. God damn it. I wouldn't say most girls are boring. It's just... I don't want to sound like I'm a misogynist, but around here, I just feel like most girls settle. They just settle for less around here. I think that's just something to do with people in the South, really. I think a lot of people just get in their comfort zone and don't ever leave it. That's the problem with being conservative. Not that the liberals are all squeaky clean either, but Republicans or conservatives just tend to stick to their little niche, and they don't really want to hear what liberals have to say and vice versa. That's the problem with America right now, is that either side doesn't want to listen, and that's the problem. If they would just both listen to what the other side wants, this country would be in a lot better shape, but alas, here we are. But particularly in the South, people just have their mindsets and their minds made up on so many different things. They don't want to understand certain things, and it's like kaboom! But the thing is, in the South, we're basically Republican conservatives, and so many people here have their minds made up on everything. And when liberals try to protest and march all the time in Nashville, I mean, there's a very small group of liberals that march, and it tends to just piss off a lot of people around here. More than anything, it doesn't really accomplish a whole lot, because this is like the wrong part of the country to be doing that in, I guess. Well, depending on who you ask, I guess it's the right, it might be the right one, because we're not liberal as much, and they're trying to get the message across, and I get that. But when they passed the Supreme Court law in this country that allowed gay people to get married, I bet heads rolled in the South. I don't care either way. You can do whatever you want. I never had a problem with that. But where I live, a lot of people probably were real ticked off by it. Well, in this country, a lot of people think they're political and take it very personally if you don't agree with what they believe in. Like, basically, if you don't have the same opinion as someone, then fuck you. That's basically how it works here. People love to pretend that, you know, they know politics and they know what's going on. And I think this country likes to tout itself as being liberal, but I still think we're very much a conservative country. I think liberals just like to tout themselves being progressive and being forward-thinking, I guess. Instead of letting it happen naturally, that's what it ends up being, is just being forced down everybody's throats. And that I'm not all for. Like, I'm all for progress, but man, you can't just force it out like a gallstone or a kidney stone. You just gotta let it happen. It's gonna happen eventually. I mean, I know you want it to happen right now, but some things you just can't force things like that. It just pisses everybody off. I'm finding myself caring less and less about politics, but I did find it a little funny when Donald Trump won. The reaction from liberals was so hilarious. Like, it was so... not that I'm anti-liberal, but in a way, it really made me laugh. Like, it amused me that people were so butthurt about it. Like, it was just funny. People took it personally, like, literally, like, the end of the world was here. I know! Like, the reactions were hilarious! And you have celebrities going around, like, you know, basically rooting for violence against conservatives. And, you know, basically saying that Russia hacked the entire thing and it's their fault, you know, like trying to bring up Rocky IV or something. I don't know. I'll just say this about the Russia thing. The CIA has lied before. They have. I mean, look at what happened in Iraq. They lied. They made it up. They told Bush there was weapons of mass destruction, and bam, we're in Iraq. They lied. You can't say that they're squeaky clean just because they're an intelligence agency. Does not mean that they tell the truth. I like you, Allison. I really do. That made me laugh. That's great. That's perfect. Yeah, lo and behold, it's all the Russians' fault for losing the election. Never mind that the Democrats fucked up big time, and that Hillary is such an evil, unrelatable character. Come on. Really? We're gonna blame it on Russia. Alright. We'll go there. Say what you will about Trump, but man, it's just, I don't really like the Clintons to begin with. I don't. Like, I've heard allegedly, like, he'll sexually abuse women, and then, like, Hillary will basically force them to shut their mouths so they won't press charges. Like, that's absurd. That's what power and money does to you. And I'm all for money, but I don't think I'd ever want the fame or the power. All hail the God Emperor. Are you talking about Bill Clinton or Hillary? Like, Bill, everybody forgets that Bill lied initially about having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. Oh, Trump. I mean, this is the way I look at it when it comes to Trump. He's mixing it up. It's like one giant enema. This is what America needs. There's so many bugs up people's asses. And he is the enema. He's the one taking all the bugs out of the asses. It's awesome. People need to shut up. I need to shut up. I mean, again, so I know that people are, yeah. I just don't know where the narrative of him being racist, misogynist, sexist, homophobic, etc. came from. I just feel like it's just words that liberals throw around just to sound smart. I don't know where it started. What proof is there that he's a racist? I'm being serious. Like, where's the proof? You have to look at it in context. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and die because I'm gonna die anyway. I just know it. So I'm just gonna dive off this pit. Bye. like a number of Mexicans voted for Trump, gays voted for Trump, fuck it. Women voted for Trump, who else? Gays voted for Trump, Mexicans voted for Trump, black people voted for Trump, who else am I forgetting? You can't ignore 63 million people is basically what I'm saying. Like, you can't ignore that. It's such a large number of people. You can't, like, just say, oh, well, he's a racist and not be able to back it up. That's what I feel like a lot of people just do nowadays. They throw around phrases like that and they really can't back it up. But when somebody asks them, you know, to provide proof, it's like, nuh-uh. You have to provide proof first. Ah! That's awesome. You voted for your dad. I voted for Gary Johnson because I just couldn't find myself to vote for Hillary or Trump at the time. And I don't think I'd vote for Trump this next election either. I mean, I think LGBT, I think that kind of comes with the territory of being Republican. It goes back to being conservatives, you know. It's like I said about people here in the South, when they passed the Supreme Court law, or when the motion went through the Supreme Court to allow gay people to get married across the country, I'm sure there's lots of people in the South that were up in arms about that. And that goes back to being red states, Republican conservatives here in the South. I mean, what can they really do now? I mean, I feel like everything's equal. I mean, you can get married now. I really don't know what they're missing at this particular point. Like, it's so weird to think about. Let me see. Trannies don't really have rights. Oh my God. Yeah, heaven forbid you should shit on anybody that's either got a mental disorder or wants to be a guy with boobs, or God forbid you should want to laugh and have fun, you know? A lot of people don't like to have fun anymore. I could give two shits. And if somebody digs up this video and finds me laughing about that comment, well, fuck you. I'll laugh if I want to laugh. I love this hidden room. The music is awesome. Let's just listen to it for a second. It's Pat. According to Julia Sweeney, who played Pat, Pat was supposed to be a girl. I saw a funny meme once. It was, oh shit, I almost died. It was, a picture of a toilet seat, and it had, like, urine drippings on it. And, it said, coming soon to a women's bathroom near you. That made me chuckle. Yep, you can just use whatever bathroom you like, right? Oh shit. Like, I'm mainly just tired of people trying to make up mental disorders and then wearing them as like badges of honor, whereas people with real mental disorders, you know, wish they never had those mental disorders. Really? I thought y'all had a 100% accuracy rate when it came to that sort of thing. Men, we're all over the place. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. TMI. Zafbat. Probably one of my favorite bosses in this game. Bat made of gold. Or gold made of a bat. This is where it gets a little annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay my ground. Right here. Ah, fucking A! Oh, shit. How did I survive that? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna stay back. Stay back, stay back. Yeah. Yes! Oh, yeah! I survive! I survive by the skin of my teeth! Ugh! People flush tampons? Oh my god! We're having life-altering conversations right now. We're bettering the United States of America. This is probably my favorite remix song in this game. I have this on my iPod. This is a great remix of Vampire, or not Vampire Killer, but Bloody Tears from the second game. Oh, crap! I immediately gave it away. Stupid is as stupid does, right? But no, bottom line on the election, bottom line on politics, I feel like the Democrats lost the election, Hillary herself lost the election, and instead of taking blame for it and owning up to it, they blame the Russians. And well, I personally don't think the Russians had anything to do with it. And if Hillary wants to rerun, she better come prepared. But to insinuate that, you know, racism caused the election to go to Trump is a lot of crap. A big load of crap. And people who don't know anything about politics should stop acting like they know what they're talking about. And let's all have fun. Ah, shit! I did it again. Basically what they said was the Russians preferred Trump supposedly to Hillary, which, surprise, surprise, is, you know, could be anybody. You know, lots of countries probably preferred Trump compared to Hillary, and vice versa. You know, can't really help that. And their statement is they hacked the emails that got released. It made Hillary look untrustworthy and thus gave Trump the election, all because of one big Russian conspiracy with Donald Trump. Right. But I want to see if they actually changed votes or voters' names or made up fake names first. Then we'll talk about it. To me, it's a lot of crap. Yeah, I've officially stopped giving a shit. They can investigate the Russian thing all they want. Even Van Jones said there's nothing to it. Van Jones, the guy that said it was a white lash the night that Donald Trump won the election, is saying that the Russian thing is nothing. I mean, if Van Jones is saying that, then it's nothing. I just like seeing the Clintons eat crow. They ate a lot of crow that night, and it was wonderful. That was the first time the Clintons had probably failed in 40 years to do anything. It was time that they got some crow. I'll just say it. They deserve to eat crow. They're not good people. And anybody that thinks they're good is foolish. Oh, shit. Hang on. This guy is kind of easy if you back him in the corner. Well, if I end up getting lots of subscribers and somebody digs up this video and wants to use it against me, it's like I said earlier, fuck you. It's just like when those fucking idiots digged up that video about Milo when he was talking about sort of condoning pedophilia, and then they kind of used it against him. But you know what the funny thing is about that? He kind of got the last laugh because now his book is #1 on the bestseller list. Controversy creates cash. I mean, the funny thing about that Milo video is it had been on YouTube for almost a year. And then they dug it up and used it against him all of a sudden. Like it just all of a sudden mattered. The final stage. And here's the remix of Vampire Killer from the first game. I think he was just kidding. Like, he was just making fun of something. You know, if you've ever listened to Anthony Jeselnik's stand-up, it's pretty brutal. Like, it's probably more brutal than Milo's. Like, anything that Milo jokes about is probably... I mean, I wouldn't say it's more tame than Anthony Jeselnik, but... I mean, when you have to... Well, I mean, I've seen Anthony Jeselnik live, and he did jokes about, like, the Holocaust and shit. And if you can joke about the Holocaust, I mean, nothing is off limits. And I feel like people just nowadays get too butthurt over a few jokes and polite ribbing, you know? Oh, you... That's one of those classic leap of faiths. Son of a bitch. Yeah, people confuse opinions and feelings with facts nowadays. That's probably one of the bigger problems, too. You ain't got shit on facts, which is something I took from Rob Dyke. I also watch Rob Dyke a lot. He did a few of those talking points videos. And I basically stole his quote. Opinions got nothing on facts. And this part, I think I need to jump to the left as quickly as I can. Go! Ah! And here we are, the home stretch. I'd just like to point out how difficult Slogger is here, and then how incredibly easy he is in Symphony of the Night. Like, this is probably the hardest boss battle in the game. I like this theme too. This boss theme is great. He's not that difficult right now. Might be in a second, we'll find out. He never did that before! Fuck's sake, man! Now that he doesn't have the spear anymore, it's kind of getting a little bit easier. Oh, shit. The thing to do is just hit him and run. Unless he does that, then you're screwed. Almost got him. Got him! I usually have a lot of trouble with Slagra. Slagra is probably the hardest boss in the game, and I just beat him without dying. That's nice. And this guy's, to me, like 10 times easier. This guy's a punk. He does not scare me one bit like Slagra did. I might lose to death coming up, but get back here! Fight like a man. There he is. There's the man I know. This is when he gets fun. He's also in Symphony of the Night. Fuck. There we go. Alright. Death and then Dracula. I might lose here. Just depends. Come on, stream. I'm gonna let it catch up for a sec. Hang on. All right. Ah, shit. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I just let him kill me there. Yeah, every now and again it'll do that. It just stops, basically just stops working. Now it's starting to look good. Alright. I should be able to take him now. I just had to remember how to beat him. Oh! Keep on throwing them, I ain't going nowhere. Come on. You can keep on doing it. I'm just gonna wait right here. See? Thank God I just jumped over that. Come on! Be a man, Death. Come on, don't be scared. There we go. Now I got him. Down he goes. He's not easy either, but he's more manageable when you know what you're doing. Like, you just gotta hold that little thing up until he gets in that position. And then you're good. And now, the final countdown, the final walk. Gonna fight Dracula. Right. Whoops! There we go. Yeah, Dracula is not easy either, but yeah, he's definitely not easy. I'm glad there's not two forms. Hold on. See, this is the gift that keeps on giving right here. He gives you a chance to replenish yourself. Ah, shit! Fuck off! Oh, shit. There we go. Trying to refresh my health here before I have to face his final form. Damn it. Alright, now we're going into the home stretch. This is where Simon Belmont earns his stripes. Almost there. That's your ball game. This song hits me right in the feels every time. One of the best end credit themes ever. I could understand why you would kind of be upset about there being healing in a Dracula fight, but to me, his boss fight's pretty difficult. If you don't have healing in that fight, wow, you're really gonna hurt. Like, you're really not gonna make it. There's no way a casual gamer or even a good gamer could probably beat that. Maybe that's just me. I think it was kind of this whole game was kind of a gift to the fans. Like, I think they heard all the complaints and they put it into a Castlevania game. Well, I know it's supposed to be hard, but I feel like it's hard enough on its own. Like, even with the healing, I just feel like, you know, I feel like it's already hard in its own self, even with all the pork chops. Because even when you're facing Dracula in, like, let's say, you know, Castlevania 1, his pattern's pretty easy. If you figure it out, if you know where to jump at, you can dodge his attack, the first form, and probably get through him without getting hit. Once you get to the second form, basically you just need holy water and to keep whacking away at it, and you'll probably beat him. Definitely not the hardest Dracula, but still pretty difficult. No healing involved. That's probably the appropriate difficulty for a Dracula boss without any healing. But I do agree that this game is fairly easy. But I like replay value, and this game has lots of replay value. See you, Tyler. It does hold your hand pretty considerably, but it's like I said, I think they listened to the fans' gripes and were just like, here you go, we're gonna put this all in a game for you, there are certain aspects of this game that are hard. It's definitely not an easy game to beat. Like, I wouldn't say it's one of the easiest games I've ever played, but it is kind of easy in certain regards. But I definitely like I think the difficulty of the last few levels are right where they need to be. Especially the last level. I think the last level's difficulty is probably right where it needs to be. Because I didn't get through death that easily. Slogger is usually a chore. Dracula's definitely not an easy boss either. Even, again, with the healing, I feel like it's appropriate. I just want a game where I'm not going to feel like throwing my controller every 2 seconds. I want a fair amount of challenge, but I also want to be eased into the challenge. And you kind of get that with Castlevania 1. But it's only eased in by the fact that you take less damage early on and you take more damage later on. That's it. That's literally the only difference between what you get in level 1 and what you get in level 6 of Castlevania 1 is you get more damage. That's the only thing that changes. You're not really eased into the difficulty of that game like you are with this. With this, it's a pretty constant, steady stream. It's just the bosses get more difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna play Rondo at some point. I will find myself venturing towards that at some point. As far as my next game goes, I want to play Symphony of the Night, but I know it's going to be a huge time investment. I don't know. Maybe I will play Bloodlines, since it's a quick game. I don't know yet. It'll be something Castlevania related soon. I might play something else. But, yeah, so that's Castlevania 4. Definitely my favorite game in the franchise. Definitely the best game in the franchise to me. Allison seems to think differently. I just like it. I like it so much. It's one of the first few games I ever played. It just works. That's the great thing about this game, is it works. You're not handicapped by bullshit. You don't fly back. Well, you do sort of in this game, but not like so much where you're going to be like, oh, I'm dead now because, oh, I got hit once and now I'm off, you know, the edge of a cliff. Or you're not limited to one direction. You can whip everywhere. That's what's so great about this game. It's user-friendly. It gives a nice break from what was Castlevanias 1 through 3, some of the hardest games ever made. So, I mean, I love this. It's one of my favorite games ever. And if you have never played this game, or if you own a Super Nintendo and have never played this game, go out and play this game. This game's amazing. I will never forget this game, and this song right here sticks with me. Alright, so that's my final thoughts on Castlevania 4. And I will see you